Okay, welcome everyone. Let's get started. So we're going to be continuing to look at what we started yesterday, which was using the phrase used to when we're talking about habits or things that we used to do or used to have and no longer do. And then we're going to compare that to the phrase getting used to. So something that takes a long time to get used to means something completely different from used to just by adding that word get. So when we talk about something that took a long time to get used to, I'll give an example. When I finished university and started working at my job, I had to sit on a bus for an hour each way to get to my job, whereas at university I'd been able to walk to university quite quickly. So it took me a while to get used to that travel time when I started my job. So that's just an example. Let's go around the room and just talk about something that took you a long time to get used to. So we'll start with, hang on a second, where is my people? Okay, so can we start with Tanya? How about you? Can you tell us an example of something that took you a long time to get used to?
Yes, I wanted to turn on my camera,
Sure.
but something went wrong.
That's okay.
Okay, I used to work as a camp counselor when I was in Polish camp. I was in Poland 3 months. It happened last summer.
So did it take you a while to get used to that job or to living in Poland?
Job.
Job. Okay, cool, thank you. Tanya, is this your first time or is it just the first time I'm seeing you on camera? First time at a group lesson?
This is not my first
Okay.
lesson.
Okay.
I just want to turn on camera today.
Okay. Well, nice to see you. Oh, great. How about Veet? Veet, can you give us an example of something that took you a long time to get used to?
Yeah, 10 years ago, I lived in Zaporizhia city for about half a year, and it was something with buses there, and it was rather hard to get used to pay on the exit only and never touch the doors in the buses, because only drivers could close the doors.
I see. Different bus system. Okay.
Yeah, and it was very hard to get used to it, because if you touch the door, if you try to close the door or open it, you can listen much about yourself, very dirty words about yourself from the driver.
I see. Cool. Thanks for telling us that. We'll be sure to watch out for the buses if we ever
I think that it changes. It changed now.
Okay.
10 years ago, it was this way.
I see. Okay. Anastasia M. Hello.
Hello. When I I studying at school, I get used to go to swimming pool every day because I swam professionally, and it wasn't my habit. It wasn't. It was like a duty or obligation for me, and I used to go to swimming pool every day.
Did you have to go very early? Most people I know that do swimming end up
No. The time I started at school, and I went to swimming pool after my study.
Cool. All right. Stanislav?
Hello.
Hello.
When I was studying in university and the pandemic began, it was really hard to get used to have online classes.
Yeah. What do you mind telling us what you were studying?
Law.
Law. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
That would have been difficult because you're used to having group debates and discussions.
Yes, and it was much easier to discuss some topics with your teacher,
Yeah.
and you just can get so much attention when you use webcam.
Yeah. Understood. Yeah, that it was all the universities were online in New Zealand as well during the pandemic, and it was quite disruptive for people in my field because it was very difficult to do any practical science work from online. You had to just watch other people do experiments rather than do them yourself. So yeah, a lot of people who started at my work after the pandemic talked about how difficult it was doing online classes in science particularly. Okay, cool. Davidenko, sorry. Oh, we're just talking about something that it took us a long time to get used to. Maybe you missed the instructions at the start, but we're just talking about something that took a long time to get used to. So we've heard about swimming early in the morning, online classes, and the bus system. And for me, it was having to commute to work after I finished university. If you'd like to tell us anything that you used to get that took you a long time to get used to. Okay, let's go on to Anastasia, number 2. Okay, Jay's got something wrong with her microphone, her microphone. Anastasia, would you like to tell us something that took you a long time to get used to?
Me?
Yes.
Something that took a long time to get used to. I do not completely understand what does it mean a long time to get used to. It is what about we were talking yesterday?
So it's different from what we were talking about yesterday. Rather than I used to do something as something that we did in the past and don't do anymore, something that takes a long time or some time to get used to is something that you aren't completely comfortable with until you've done it for a long time. So we've had an example of someone who said it took them a long time to get used to doing online classes during the pandemic because they were used to going to put classes in person. And so it took them a long time to get used to having online classes.
That's it's took a long time to get used to walking from my work to home.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, I just finished my work.
No,
That's why I
okay.
don't.
That's all right. That's okay. I'm glad you could be here. All right. So now that we've done that exercise, let's just have a bit of more of an explanation. So here's an example similar to what we used yesterday. I used to live in London, but I don't anymore. So when we just use used to, we're talking about something that used to happen or we used to do in the past and we no longer do anymore. When we say get used to, we're talking about something in the past that took some time, but we became comfortable with it. So I got used to the traffic when I lived in London, for example. And now just to add to that, we've got would. So I would take the train to work every day when I lived in London. And this is very similar to used to. So you could say here, I used to take the train to work every day when I lived in London, or I would take the train to work every day when I lived in London. And they have very similar meanings. There's just a slight difference in that when you say, I would take the train to London, it seems more like it's something that you wanted to do. Whereas when you say I used to, it doesn't really tell us anything about whether you wanted to do that or not. But if you say I would take the train, it indicates that you wanted to do that. So it's a very small distinction, but otherwise you can use used to and would interchangeably. So you could use either in a sentence, but then this idea of getting used to is quite different. That's talking about something that takes a while until we're completely comfortable with it. Okay. So now we've already done this exercise where we talk about something that we got used to. Let's make it a little bit harder. So now we're going to use all three in a sentence. So include used to, would, and get used to. So take a few minutes if you need to come up with a sentence or a short explanation where you can use all three of these terms: used to, would, and get used to. And I've got an example for you here. I used to live in a small town and I would often go fishing by the river. When I moved to a big city, it took me a while to get used to the fast-paced lifestyle and crowded streets. Okay, so we've used I used to live, I would often go fishing. So that's something that they wanted to do, they liked doing. Then they moved to the big city, and it took a while to get used to the fast-paced lifestyle and crowded streets. Okay, so just have a think about how you can use all three of these terms in one sentence. Is anyone ready, or do you need a little bit of time?
Little time.
Little time? Okay, let's give you some time.
I am ready. I can try.
Okay, off you go. Thank you.
I used to go when I go to school. I used to wake up at 7 a.m. and I would often go by foot to school. Then, when I get into university, I get used to wake up earlier at 6 a.m. Because it took me more time to go to university by bus.
Okay, thank you. That was great. I just want to make a couple of small corrections though. So just be careful about the tense that you're using at the end. So in this one here, we've got it took me a while. So this is in the past tense, to get used to. You said I get used to taking the bus. It would have been better to say I got used to, because you're talking about something in the past, but otherwise that was great. Okay, anyone else want to volunteer, or should I just go through the list?
I can.
Right.
Is that Stanislav? Go ahead.
Yes. I used to spend a lot of time on studying before, and I would have a tutor. But now, when I am not in Ukraine and have other business, it took me a lot of time to get used to study in my own.
That's great. So it took you a lot of time to get used to studying by yourself or on your own.
Yes, by myself.
That's good. Cool. All right. Somebody else said they were ready.
Yes, I want to.
Oh,
I used to go to my work by foot. I would often sometimes go by bus or a taxi, and now I'm can I say get used to in continuous. I'm slowly.
you can say I'm getting used to. Yeah, I'm getting used to.
I'm getting used to work from my house online. Yes, and I'm think it would be better form of my job.
Okay, so you're getting used to working from home. So you can use the continuous in both verbs there. So I'm getting used to working at home. You see what I mean?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
getting.
So if it's still happening, I'm getting used to working
Yes.
from home, and it's better for your job.
Yes.
Cool. That's great. Thank you. Anyone else want to volunteer?
I can try a bit.
Sure, go ahead.
In my childhood, I used to live in Crimea. It was a very small town in mountains, and I would go to mountains each autumn to gather some mushrooms and berries. And because of mountains, I found directions, like compass directions, according to those mountains. And moving to Kyiv, I got used to. It was rather hard for me to get used to find directions without
Without the mountains.
means. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the buildings and so on and so forth.
Oh, that's interesting. So you used to use the mountains as landmarks?
As
So you-
yeah, right.
Oh, that's interesting. So when I moved to this city, Auckland sits on about 50 different small volcanoes. And so you can learn your way around if you learn the volcanoes because they all look slightly different. So if I got lost, I would look for the nearest volcano. And that's how I found my way around this city as well. That's really interesting. Thank you. Okay, anyone want to go next?
I can try.
Go, off you go.
I used to go to school, and before school, I got used to do morning exercises. Because my mother forced me, but I would to sleep more at this time.
So another way to say that would be I would rather sleep more.
I would rather.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Thank you very much. Who's still to go? Yulia, is your microphone working yet? Can't hear you. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, so I think everyone who we can hear has done that exercise. This is great because you've already done this. But now let's talk about something that you used to do. And I know this is repetition, but this is how we learn. So something that you used to do and something that you would do or you would rather do. So Tanya's just given us a great example of that. So I used to drive to work when I lived in a different part of the city, but these days I would rather ride my bike to work because I don't have to sit in the traffic. Okay, so let's just go through and think of an example of something that you used to do, and then you would either in the past you would rather, or in the present you would rather do something else. When someone's ready, just let me know.
I'm
It's
ready.
like I'm sorry, it's like my dream. Yes, I would rather in the future use the bike.
So you can
Okay.
use it either in the present. So in this example, these days, I would rather use my bike than drive. Or you could talk about something hypothetical. So it hasn't happened yet, but you would rather do something differently in the future. Okay. Was that Stanislav? Did you want to go?
Yes.
Sure.
I used to watch movies in Ukrainian localization, but these days I would rather watch English one to have some extra lessons,
Cool.
extra practice.
Cool, that's good. I know that's been a debated issue recently in Ukraine. So do you like to watch them with subtitles on to help you, or do you watch without subtitles?
No, I'm watching it without subtitles already.
Okay, cool. So you like a challenge.
It used to be a challenge, but now it's much easier to understand everything.
That's good. That's good. Do you have some accents that you find easier to understand than others?
Not British
Not British.
and not Texas
Not
accent. It's like from Western cowboys, howdy partner.
Yeah. Yeah, they take a little while to get used to.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Would anyone else? Thank you for that. Would anyone else like to have a turn?
Yeah.
Please, Eric.
I used to watch a lot of pirate content. I mean, TV shows, films, etc. But for some while, I would rather pay for subscriptions.
Okay, cool. Do you have a favorite streaming service?
Netflix,
Netflix? Okay, cool.
obviously.
All right. Somebody told me about Tapflix the other day. Is that
Yes.
It's Ukrainian. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
worldwide.
Okay. Anyone else want to have a turn?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
I used to start my morning with a cup of coffee and cake, but nowadays I would rather to start my mornings with yoga.
Wow, that's a very healthy change. But coffee and cake sounds like a great way to wake up.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yes. How could I say about the times earlier or
Yeah, so
before?
in the past or beforehand or
Yes, in the past, I used to have a rest with an alcohol or with my friends and in etc. And now I would rather go to a forest or just go for a walk on the streets with my music, something like that.
So when you say have a rest, do you mean I used to relax?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So you could say I used to relax by having a drink with friends.
Yes.
And these days I would rather go for a walk. So yeah, that's cool. Everyone's making healthy changes. It's good. All right. Anyone else want to go? Tanya, did you go already?
Yes.
Cool.
In the past, I used to spend my birthday parties with my friends, but nowadays I would rather just to spend my birthday with my parents.
Cool. All right. And what month of the year is your birthday? What season?
In March, spring.
Spring. So it's still quite cold for your birthday. I'm just trying to imagine what kind of food you would have with your parents on your birthday in a cold spring night. Okay. Hi Val.
Hi, everyone.
Would you like to tell us about something that you used to do and these days you would rather do something else?
Sure. Absolutely. Well, I used to smoke,
Mm-hmm.
and these days I would rather do anything else.
Anything.
Um,
Anything about.
Yeah, I'd rather, I don't know if you guys can see, I'd rather play with my parrot here.
Oh, yes.
Say hi.
Hi.
So,
Does the parrot speak?
he does. He says a few words. He says hi. He says, Kiki is a birdie. He says yes. I think, yeah, he says yes. He's still learning.
He's still learning. Oh, that's cool. Isn't it great when you can bring animals to class? Thanks.
I can show my animal. I now I'm studying with my cat.
Oh, hello.
sleeping now.
I don't think your cat's concentrating on the lesson.
Yes.
Anyone else secretly got an animal that they brought to class? That's too bad. Let me show you Billy. So if you're wondering who the dog is on all of the photos that we have for Balakun, she doesn't like being brought to lessons though. Say hello. Yeah, she would rather be looking out the window, checking for cats. All right. So we've still got, it's good having small classes because everyone gets to do lots of talking. Now for the last thing I wanted to do was play a cheesy game called Two Truths and a Lie. But we can use some of the things that we've learned about used to in this game. So basically what you need to do is come up with 3 different statements about yourself, and everyone in the class has to guess which ones are true and which one is not true. Val, do you feel like going first? Take a minute if you need to think.
Sure. I do need to come up with convincing lies about myself.
Sometimes the lie is the hardest one to come up with.
I know. So how about this? I won a web development contest when I was in high school for all of the high schools in the city. That's my first statement. Second is I used to be the best player on my college hockey team. And the third one is, let me think. I spent 2 months camping in Iceland.
Okay, so
Only one is true.
2 are true.
Only one is true. Yes.
Only one is true. Okay, so you've got 2 lies and a truth. Okay. Is it ice hockey or regular field hockey?
Ice hockey.
Ice hockey. We can ask him questions to try and figure out which one he's lying about. How do you pronounce the capital of Iceland?
Reykjavik.
Okay.
What language did you use to develop websites?
Sure. It was just HTML. HTML
Yes.
and Photoshop for the graphics.
What was the second one?
The second one was me being the best player on my college hockey team, ice hockey.
And what is your favorite team in this competition sport?
Just in general, like New York Rangers, because I live in New York.
I think that's a lie. I think the hockey thing is a lie, but maybe maybe the Iceland thing is a lie as well, because you had to think about it for so long.
Is that your final answer?
Bet that the first statement is true.
Sorry?
I bet that the first statement is true.
The first statement is the truth.
So are we ready for the big reveal?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
so. Yes.
The first statement is true.
Okay.
Easy. It was easy.
You always start with the easy one. Okay. Why don't you have a turn now? If you need to take a minute to think of them and sound convincing, then go ahead. Okay, Stanislav, are you ready to lie to us?
Not quite ready.
Right, anyone else want to have a go while he's thinking?
Is it 2 truths and 1 lie, or
Normally,
2 lies and 1 truth?
you can do either. Just tell us which one you're doing.
Okay,
So
okay.
Val did one
1
truth,
lie and 2 truths.
one lie and 2 truths. Okay, off you go.
Yeah. I used to work as a teacher. I would rather eat fish than meat, and I have never been to Odessa.
I think Odessa is true.
There's only 1 lie.
One lie.
Oh,
What kind of a teacher were you?
Ukrainian.
Did you live in Crimea or in Zaporizhia?
What's your favorite type of fish?
the secret.
I think I've lost connection.
Okay, we can hear you now. So we asked, what's your favorite type of fish? And did you live in Crimea or Zaporizhia?
Salmon.
Salmon?
Do you like sushi?
Obviously.
Why do you like fish more than meat? I think you might have lost the connection again.
Yeah, maybe. Does anyone else want to have a go while we're waiting?
Maybe I can try.
Sure.
I'll tell you two sentences of truth and 1 lie. First one, it will be about my studying at university, and first one, at university I used to play volleyball. When I studying at university, I used to smoke, and when I studying at university, I used to drink coffee every morning before studying.
I think the one about coffee is true because you talked about coffee and cake before. I'm not sure about volleyball because how did you have time for volleyball and swimming? Maybe you just were very efficient with your time.
What is your favorite cigarettes?
Good question.
Parliament.
Like it's impossible.
That's a lie.
Yes, that's life because I've never tried to smoke cigarette. And it's true that I play volleyball at university because when I was talking about swimming, it was about my school time.
Okay, so that was before university.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool. We found you out in the lie. because of your choice of cigarettes. That's funny.
Mhm.
Anyone else want to have a turn?
Yes,
Go ahead.
I wrote this because I have very bad memory. I used to drink energy drinks when I was in the university. I was not bad player in Dota when I was in university, and I used to do videos for big performer dancers and some bars. And there is one true and two lies.
Which camera do you use when you make your video?
Adobe Premiere Pro and CapCut.
I think it's true. uh,
What's your favorite energy drink?
Monster. And in our city, there are so many new tastes. And I like them. Or not.
I think she's a good liar.
which weapon do you use when you play Dota?
I don't know the translation of them. It's some very local thing, and I can translate this, but I can show you. I need a minute.
Weapon, it's like a gun or...
Yeah, I know, and I just can't translate this.
Mhm.
This one, this
Maybe...
called, huh?
No.
This one, this called Black River, but not like the Rechka, but the river.
Oh my God.
Very powerful.
Okay, so that's definitely true.
What?
That's definitely true. You have shown us evidence.
It was a lie, actually, about the Dota, and which one do you think it's true? About energy drinks or video?
I think video.
Yes, it's true. And I don't ever played Dota and never drank energy drinks.
How did you come up with the axe from Dota?
What?
How did you come up with the weapon from Dota?
Yes. And by the way, how could I tell when I want to re-ask a person what did he say, or what he said?
So you could
Because
say, could you repeat?
repeat, because the Ukrainian version, what? I think it's not appropriate.
But what? That's interesting. I've heard that a lot, actually. It might be considered a little bit impolite. But what? So you could say, could you please repeat if you wanted to be polite. But
Yes.
If you know the person well, you can say what? Yeah. All right. Would anyone else like to have a turn?
I can.
Oh, hello.
Um,
Go ahead.
So, the first sentence is that I have a driving license. The next, I played basketball in school team. And this third is I was the best student of the university, of my university.
How many lies and how many truths?
One lie, one.
One line. Are you very tall for basketball?
Enough.
Tall enough, tall enough. Okay. Mm-mm.
How long did
Which
it take you to get your driver's license?
Sorry, can you repeat?
How long did it take you to get your driver's license? How much time?
It takes 6 months, theory and practice.
what what subject was your favorite in the school or the university? I don't remember. But you were the best.
Civil law, the best student of university. Civil law.
University. What was your favorite subject?
Civil law.
What is it?
Цивільне право.
Civil law.
Civil law.
How much time did you take your practical lessons when you get your driver license?
My driving lessons were about 2 months, I think.
No, I ask you how much time did you take your practical exam? It was from the first time, or you use more times?
A practice test was одна спроба.
Was
One
done from
time.
One try. Yeah, one try.
I think it's like.
Did you have driving lessons from a professional teacher or from a family member?
A professional teacher, but before drive school, my father also taught me.
Mhm.
And how could you know that you are the best student in the university? It was the list.
No, it was list of wishes, formal letter.
Okay. This is a hard one. I think that you're telling the truth about everything except driving.
No, I have driver
Have a driver's
license.
Okay.
Yes.
The university.
Yes, that's lie.
Okay. All right. Okay, we're gonna run out of time. Let's leave it there for today. And so there'll be another one of these tomorrow, same time. Does anybody have any? I thought it would be nice to do the last lesson of the week. We could ask if anyone has any requests, so anything they want to study, anything they don't understand. If you can't think of it right now, you can just put it in the Telegram chat. Try and do it before maybe the middle of the day tomorrow, if you have any requests. Otherwise, I'll just keep going with this series of past tense, used to, and all of that. Cool.
Thank you.
So yeah, I hope to see everyone tomorrow, and thank you so much for being here today. It was fun. And some of you are very good liars. All right. See
Thank
you
you so
later.
much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.